であるんですよね。わかるな。わかんないね。
The Gion Matsuri is a 1,200-year-old Japanese religious festival held in Kyoto, Japan every year during the whole month of July. The festival is a celebration filled with dances, parades, lanterns, and other performances.
The purpose of the festival originated during the Heian period from 794 to 1185 AD due to a breakout of plagues in Kyoto. During this time, Kyoto had already suffered a lot of devastating disasters, such as epidemics, floods, fires, and earthquakes. The festival became a purification ritual to stop the spirits from being angry. For the citizens, it was a sign that the gods were not happy. The festival was a way to pray and appease the spirits in hopes to finally put an end to the tragedies. The Yasaka Shrine has been host to the festival ever since it was born. It started out with the emperor declaring that there be prayers at the Yasaka Shrine in order to make the gods happy. The prayers ended up being successful, so they repeated it any time the city was hit with a plague or disaster.
Over time, the festival began to be fueled by the powerful merchant class who made the festival and the floats more extravagant than originally planned. Floats that started out being carried on men's backs were now placed on large wheels and became multiple stories high.
In 1533, the Ashikaga shogunate, whom governed the city, stopped all religious events. The citizens protested, saying that they would stop the rituals but refused to stop the tradition of the parades and floats. This eventually led to what Gion Matsuri is today, more of a festival of events and floats rather than a time to pray to the spirits.
With such a long history behind this festival, it raises the question of how they keep this event fully running and funded. Due to the well-known traditions, the festival has gained many families who have been involved for hundreds of years. Families who live in the neighborhood where a majority of the festival takes place proudly carry on the tradition. One woman's family, whose name can be found in some of Japan's oldest written records, were advocates for the 6th century prince Shotoku Taishi. She now helps sponsor a float that honors him because that is what her family has done for as long as she is aware. A family's location is usually the determining factor of which float is sponsored by whom.
A festival based on 1,200 years of tradition containing rich music, vast artistic beauty, and religious rituals, nothing tops the craftsmanship of the floats included in their parades. An integral part of the Gion Matsuri festival is the range of beautiful, intricate, handmade floats. For 5 days, 32 of these floats are assembled and are classified as either yama, which are the smaller of the two and contain trees, shrines, and mannequins, or hoko, which are humongous mobile museums, sometimes reaching up to the size of a 2-story building and weighing nearly 10 tons.
3 fires terrorized the city of Kyoto in 1708, 1788, and 1864. They were so damaging due to most major structures being based on and built using wood, and the city not having a public fire service. Many urban codes defined a penalty, such as being barred from your neighborhood, for common citizens not fighting fires as it was seen as everyone's responsibility. One hoko float, known as the Ofun Boko, has had a long-fought battle to be part of this festival. Ranging back over 420 years, the Ofun Boko has been destroyed in all 3 of Kyoto's fires. After the latest fire, the enormous float remained absent for the past 150 years. However, it made a grand reappearance last July. Hoko floats are such a feat because they've been preserved for centuries. When a component wears out, it's replaced. Since they've not been built from scratch in so long, many thought it would be impossible to bring back the Ofun Boko. However, through collaboration with the neighboring community and the Ritsumeikan University's Art Research Center, they achieved it. During the month of July, the streets of Kyoto are a sea of people from many sides. The air is full of laughter and joy as people watch the float cart parade with a sense of pride swelling from their chests. It's a festival that is full of energy emitting from the movement of the dancers on the float carts to the surrounding people viewing the parade with anticipation and enjoyment. The people of Kyoto have been waiting for this movement all year long. Even with the amount of energy at the festival, you still feel like a small ant in an anthill because of the amount of people present at the festival.
The pre-festival activities start with the Chigo, the page boy picked to be the spirit's guide to the religious shrines, praying at the Yasaka shrine. He prays for a safe journey to the shrines and good tidings to others. The next event, which is merely a few days later, is gorgeous and uplifting. You will see the men with children escorts wearing the beautiful traditional kimono head along Shio Street to Kawaramachi Street. The children carry lanterns to welcome the Mikoshi portable shrines that carry the deities. These shrines will be carried out of the Yasaka shrine later on after being purified by the water of the Kamo River. After the purification of the Mikoshi shrines, the Hoko and Yama floats must be created. You will see the many neighborhoods creating their floats and can see the floats up close before they are finished. After the floats are finished, they must be tested. You will see the men of each respective float community using all of their strength to pull the floats. This is done to Gion Bayashi music, which is traditional Japanese music done with bells, drums, and wooden flutes. After the floats are tested, the Chigo visits the Yasaka shrine once more to pray for the safety during the festival.
The Yoyama, or the party of the festival, is 3 days long and is a peak of energy for visitors and locals alike. The Kyoto police shut down the major streets, including the major Shijo-dori, so everyone can enjoy. The streets are also lined with several other stalls that have different types of food, such as yakitori, or grilled skewered chicken, and games for you to play. The Shinkosai, or as aforementioned carrying of the Mikoshi shrines, is known as a prayer for good harvest, and begins with the Yamahoko Grand Parade, a parade for the massive float carts.
The event that closes out the festival is the Nagoshi Summer Purification. A huge, large chinawa wreath that is made of large green rushes is set up in front of the Yasaka shrine. If you pass through the wreath, it is said that you will be purified and you will ward off illness for the upcoming year. The Mikoshi is what ties the people of Kyoto and their spirit guardians to the Gion Matsuri festival.
Due to the size of the event and its hindrance on traffic during the parades, there was a short span of time where the Gion Matsuri was reduced to just one parade. But because of the overwhelming power of the voices throughout the Kyoto communities, the 2014 festival brought back the original separation between the Saki and Ato Matsuri. These parts are opposite, but are dependent on each other to convey the meaning of the festival, much like the yin and yang. The goal of the festival is to transfer the deity from one shrine to the other, hence the 2 parts. The Saki Matsuri welcomes the deity, and the Ato Matsuri returns the deity to its original place. The locals want to recognize and rethink the actual meaning of the Gion Matsuri. It is regarded as a time to return to the start, which is an ideal lesson the locals can still pass along to younger generations.
There have been many catastrophes in the city of Kyoto, Japan. However, the people of the city have found a way to rebuild and start all over again. The festival brings peace to the Japanese people. You can say that some of these catastrophes have strengthened the city and have made it better. From these bad experiences, the merchants have built a strong character to make a beautiful festival. The Gion Matsuri Festival has become a legacy to show the wealth and taste from the merchant families and craft guilds and is the true meaning of the word tradition.